Welcome to a bit of gentle, joyful yin that we're going to do this morning, or this afternoon even. And you're going to let yourself start in a position where you're sitting with the back somewhere near tall and straight. If you want to change direction, you can change direction. So just letting yourself be comfortable. Hella, any physical things that are going on with you, or any special requests for the practice today?
No, I just try to do what I can. I have a lot of restriction in my right leg, but that's
Yeah, all right. You know what you're doing anyway. Yeah, gently, gently. All right, so we're going to be in a place where the back is somewhere near tall and straight. You might be cross-legged, you might be sitting on things, you might be kneeling, whatever's okay. If you're against the wall, that's also a reasonable option. Just letting yourself land so that you can be comfortable. And just taking the time to notice. As you're landing, just consciously bringing your attention into your breath. Notice the breath happening. And maybe when you bring the attention into the breath starts to get a bit deeper, a bit broader. Or maybe you just notice the breath as it happens. I want you to consciously welcome in each inhale. And consciously allow each exhale to gently go, to gently be released. And maybe allowing the breath to move a little deeper. If you're not already starting to expand through the lungs, allow yourself to soften the lower ribs and allow the belly to soften. As you breathe in, welcoming in the breath and also welcoming in positivity. So noticing the mental, emotional situation fluctuations. Each inhale, just welcoming in a sense of calm, a sense of positivity. Each exhale, consciously releasing, letting go of the breath. And also consciously just letting go of any darkness, any worries, any self-doubt. And as you welcome in the positive and let go of anything that feels negative or not useful right now, know that these are not permanent situations. But just for now, for your practice, knowing that you have the choice to welcome in and the choice to release and let go. Keeping with the breath, aiming to have an even rhythm of the breath. So maybe you're counting in the head from 1 to 4 as you inhale, and then counting from 1 to 4 as you exhale. Or maybe you're just feeling the breath to be even, to feel even. We're going to start to find a little bit of movement here with the breath. As you inhale, allow the chest to lift forwards and the chin to lift up. And as you exhale, allow the lower ribs to drop down, the chin gently to drop in. Just finding the breath moving In your own rhythm, inhaling to lift the chin and lift the eyes into the forehead. And exhaling to round through the back, chin drops, eyes drop down into the cheeks. As you move in this way, I want you to imagine that the breath is moving into and from a place somewhere between the sit bones. Breathing in from the ground, breathing in energy of the earth. Good. And as you do this, keeping with this movement, but we're going to switch the direction of the eyes. You can do this with the eyes open or closed. So as you're lifting the chest, lifting the chin, you're also dropping the eyes down into the cheeks. As you exhale, curling through the back, the chin drops down and the eyes lift up into the forehead. So just doing that a few times. As slow as is comfortable. And of course, if you need to take extra breaths or if you need to yawn, allow those things to happen and then come back into your comfortable rhythm. And then as you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves to a neutral place. Take your time if you need to move the other way first. As you come to a neutral place, if you have your legs crossed, option to cross them the other way if that feels useful. And from there, we'll just take a little bit of a circle. So moving the upper body around. Just expanding the space, noticing how it feels to shift gently more onto one sit bone and then to the front of the sit bones, over onto the other, and then onto the back. Try and keep that sense of being grounded, keep breathing from somewhere between the sit bones. So really noticing that space. Muladhara, the base chakra, right down at the bottom of the spine. Really keeping that spread and grounding in that space. And then circling in the other direction. If you haven't already changed directions, then change. Get a sense of how that feels, whether that changes where there is awareness, where there's tightness, where there's mobility. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to pause that movement. And we are going to come into our first pausing pose, resting pose in yin pose. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees come out to the side. So if you have bricks or bolsters or cushions or a stool, anything that you can lean forwards onto, then find something that you can lean onto. If you've not got things around you, you can just bring the arms down onto the legs and support yourself in a comfortable way. It can also often be useful to have something, either the arms or the head to land onto, or maybe if you need it, something to cushion underneath the outsides of the thighs. But allowing yourself to soften forwards. If there's a lot of space, you might be folding fully forwards, head towards the feet. But just letting yourself soften down where feels comfortable. And as you soften into this pose, again, just bringing your attention to the breath, whether it's controlled or whether you're just noticing the breath as it occurs. Finding the breath moving from somewhere between the sit bones, lifting up energy from the ground, energy from Mother Earth. As you soften here, knowing that you are safe and protected. Continuing to just get a sense of choosing to welcome inhales, choosing to welcome positive thoughts, calm emotions. Choosing to let go of that which you no longer need, including your exhales, including any tension, any secret tension gripping through the jaws or the eyebrows, through the shoulders or the hands. Knowing that you do not need to force this at all. Simply being is perfect. And stay here for one more minute. Of course, softening a little out of it if you need at any point. And starting to just allow the breath to move a little deeper. Slowly using the hands to gently ease your body upright. Taking your time. Noticing where you need to be soft. If you're using any props that you need to just place to one side, do. And then using the hands to ease the legs back in. Actively let the legs be heavy. Almost pressing the legs against the hands as you bring them back in. Slowly turning those feet down and then bringing your hands behind you to support you. We're going to lean a little back here. And then finding the feet in a comfortable place so that they are apart. Very gently just rocking the knees side to side. Just breathing as you go, as you bring the knees one side and then the other. Move slowly and consciously. So rather than just pushing into one shape and then pushing into the other shape, notice what it feels like to actually move into those shapes. You might find that you start wiggling down the mat. So I know that I sort of do a little bum shuffle forwards. So if you're doing that, then readjusting as you go to one side and the other by bringing the bottom back or moving the feet further forwards. We'll just do this a few more times. Maybe a little bit of gentle effort to press the knee that's internally rotating. It's the leg that's internally rotating. Just notice what it feels like to just drop it a little lower, release it a little lower, whilst trying to keep both sit bones near the ground, towards the ground. Be conscious of any difference right side to left side. Choose to love each side equally. And don't force them to be the same. So you can keep with that if you like while I explain what the next options are going to be. So we've got 3 options for our next pose. We're going to come round onto the hands and knees and then bring the knees wide. So first option, knees wide, toes together. You might do this a long ways on the mat depending. You might also want to sort of have a bit of cushioning under the knees. So knees apart, toes together, and then dropping down and landing forwards, aiming to open out the hips this way, wherever there's space there. Second option is a full frog. So you've got the feet coming out so that your shins are more or less parallel Knees out to the side and hips dropping down, aiming to drop the body forwards. Third option, if both of those feel a little bit too strong, or if the hips are not happy with that space, we're going to come into a Supta Baddha Konasana. So you're having the soles of the feet together, lying on your back, and letting yourself land this way. So continuation of that opening in the hips, choosing whichever version you would like to go for. So if you're in your Supta Baddha Konasana, if you're lying on your back, hands might be on the front of the body or they might be out to the sides, letting the soles of the feet come together, knees out, and you might prop the legs, have something underneath the outside of the legs. If you're coming into our frog or half frog, having the knees out. And again, if you've got props, a bolster under the body, some bricks under the body, something under the head. Same with the full frog, toes out to the side if you can. And again, having some bricks or cushions under the body, bricks or cushions under the head. Or you can even stack the hands and have the forehead land on the hands. So you might need to play with this one to get to a place where you can land comfortably and let yourself soften. So as you get to that place, just resting down. Just having a moment to acknowledge any difference right side to left side. Choose to love each side equally without forcing them to be the same. You pause and land here. Again, knowing that you are safe. Knowing that you are supported. As you breathe, welcoming in the breath and letting go of that which you no longer need. Breathing from the base of the spine and allowing the breath, the prana, the life force to move up through the spine all the way up to the top of the head. Checking in that the breath is still comfortable. If you find that the breath feels labored or you're holding your breath, that's an indication that there's tension being held, and it might be that you need to soften a little somewhere in the pose. That might be to simply accept and sink a little deeper, or it might be to back off a little and give yourself a little bit more support. Allowing yourself to be kind to the shape that you're in. Stay here for one more minute. as you're ready, just bringing the attention into the breath. Welcoming the breath a little deeper. If you're in your Supta Baddha Konasana on your back, maybe just helping the knees up with the hands and bringing the knees into the chest. If you're in your frog pose, you're bringing yourself very gently using the hands. Feel the navel actively draw up away from the ground and then gently walking the knees in. As you bring yourself around, we're going to end up sitting. So if you're on your back, hugging your knees, gently rock onto one side. And again, just placing the hands behind. This time, the feet together, the knees together. Allowing the knees to stay close and just taking some little twists here. Rather than the feet being apart, allowing the knees to be close together. Let one foot lift away from the ground so that your knees can stay close. And again, your bottom might walk itself forwards as you do this, in which case just shuffle back. Again, just a few little movements. Again, just moving gently, noticing the effort it takes to move to the right side and the left side. You might do this with your eyes closed, really bringing the attention in. You might find that you move to one side in a different way to how you move to the other side. See if you can make it a little easier. See if you can relax a little more. Good. Doing a couple more. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to bring that back into center. As you come into center, we're going to bring the legs forwards into our forward fold. So aiming to have the feet so that the toes lift a little. You can sit on something. You can have, definitely have the knees bent. So we'll work with the knees bent. If you have something you can place between the legs, anything will do. A little bottle or a brick or something, just something to place between the thighs just above the knees. That can be quite useful to just feel the knees gently holding that in place. And then as you're using that, if you're using something, lifting the hands high. Take an inhale as you look up. And then as you exhale, reach forwards. Aim to hold on to the outside of the feet. If you can't reach there, that's fine to hold on to the outside of the calves. Or if you have a piece of material, a strap or something that you can place around the soles of the feet, you can do that. And then as you lean forwards, you're going to just lift the head and chest, look up, inhaling. And then as you exhale, feel the body move a little further forwards. From there, walk the sit bones back an inch or two. Maybe the legs straighten, maybe not. If you've got something between the legs and it's comfortable for you to keep it there, then you're very gently just engaging to hold that in place. And then letting yourself land forwards. Holding this position comfortably. So you might change how the hands hold the feet. You might allow the neck and shoulders to relax and soften down. As you soften a little more into this, find a little bit more space along the back of the spine and the back of the legs. You might walk the sit bones back another inch or two. If you need any other props or bolsters, having cushions between the thighs and the body. Bricks to support the head, whatever you need here. And then once you get yourself comfortable and landed, just breathing into this space, breathing from the tailbone up the back of the body. This pose is really about opening, exposing the back of the body. So allow the breath to really open and expand from the tailbone out to the sides, the sacrum, the back of the pelvis out to the sides. The lower back, out to the sides of the waist. From the middle of the back, along the spine, out along the ribs. From between the shoulder blades, out into the shoulders. From the back of the neck, around to the sides of the neck. All the way up to the top of the skull. Each breath is just gently expanding that space. Welcoming in fresh air, fresh energy, fresh prana. Welcoming in positivity and calmness. Staying here for one more minute. And as you're ready, breathing a little deeper, gently, gently walking your hands in, moving any props out of the way as you ease your body up. And from here, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So bringing the legs around, and you might just support the knees a little here, double, triple over the mat, or put a blanket underneath the knees. So allow yourself to come to a place where the knees can feel comfortably grounded down, hands comfortably grounded underneath the shoulders. And from here, taking a couple of cat-cows, inhaling to look forwards, drawing the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, push the ground away and curl through the spine. So as you move through your cat-cows, allow yourself to notice how the arms and shoulders respond. So whether your arms lock straight or whether they bend, whether right arm and left arm move in different ways. So just paying attention to the effects of the mobility and stability in the shoulders and the neck. Good. And doing a few more, maybe slowing them down slightly and moving from the base of the spine first and then rippling through the spine to move into the neck. So the base of the spine, tailbone moves first, then the lower back, then the middle back, and then the neck and the head. And again, doing this with the eyes closed, just really waking up your awareness. Notice how the breath moves. Make sure you're not holding the breath. As you just gently explore the mobility, explore the space. A few more breaths, working however you're working. then as you're ready, we're going to come into a thread the needle. So you're going to bring your left hand a little further forwards. Take your right hand palm facing away from the ground. Your right hand is reaching out to the left side until the shoulder meets the ground. From there, left hand might come a little further out to the side to support you. Or if there's space, you might reach that left hand towards the front of your mat or your space, reaching it out. Another option with this left hand is to bring it out to the left side, reach it out behind you and wrap it around into that right hip crease. So the fingers might hold onto the thigh or into the hip crease. So as you work towards this pose, just taking the time to find a place, making sure the knees are comfortable as they land down. The hips stay on top of the knees. That right shoulder drops to the ground. And the head and neck, or the head meets the ground. Maybe the chin ever so slightly tucks in. We're just breathing here. Expanding the breath from the heart center. As you open and expand through that left side of the heart. That's the side of acceptance. So maybe a little bit more focus on softening, on accepting. And nurturing. Stay here just one more minute. And then letting the breath move a little more consciously, gently pressing that left hand into the ground or bringing it to the ground in order to press it into the ground, to lift yourself back upright. As you bring yourself back up onto your hands and knees, just taking another few cat-cows here. So just moving gently, this time allowing the cat-cow to be much smaller. So rather than that really deep, broad, how much movement do I have? Allowing yourself to just explore little tiny micro movements in particular parts of the spine. And again, maybe just having the eyes closed, visualizing particular points in the spine, and just finding tiny little arch and curling movements. Soften around your skin, soften all the fascia around the body. Let yourself move easily like a seal through water. A few more breaths like this. And then as you're ready, we're going to be bringing ourselves to the other side. So again, just making sure those knees are comfortable. Bringing the right hand out a little in order to turn the left palm up. The left hand reaches out to the right side. From there, let the right hand come closer in as you press into the floor to find that twist. And then you've got options with that right hand. It can stay where it is. It can reach over the head, maybe walking a little over to the left. Or it can stay out to the right side, reach out to the right, and then reach out behind you to wrap around into the left hip crease. Maybe it's holding on to that left thigh. As you find a position, this side may well be very different to the other side. So again, love it equally. Try not to force it to be the same. As your shoulder lands on the ground, also try and allow the head to land on the ground. Maybe the chin slightly tucked in, keeping the hips above the knees. As we find a little bit of space around the right side of the heart, side of giving, offering love. Staying here for one more minute. And then taking a deeper breath, planting that right hand down onto the ground and pressing into that right hand to bring yourself back up onto the hands and knees. As you come onto the hands and knees, this time moving in whatever way feels useful. It might be cat-cow, it might be circling the ribs around. It might be finding gross, broad movement, or it might be finding some subtle, gentle micro movements. Good. And then from here, taking your time, we're going to drop down into a child's pose. So if you've got your knees supported, you might keep that support under the knees, or you might choose to remove it out of the way. Aiming for knees together, feet together, and then aiming possibly to bring something underneath the head. So again, you might have the mat doubled or tripled over, you might have a block or a cushion to put underneath the head, you might use the hands or arms, and let the hands land under the head. Aiming to have the head, the forehead landing onto something. That's it. As you find this pose, maybe just taking a couple of little rocks side to side with the forehead, so just massaging the top of the forehead across, above the eyebrows, across the front of the forehead, onto whatever it's landing onto. And then allowing yourself to simply pause and land. Just a few more breaths here. And then as you're ready, you're going to make your way into your final resting pose, your Shavasana. So letting yourself land, moving gently around. And finding a comfortable Shavasana, so if that's supported in any way, then find whatever supports you need or like. And then as you land, allowing yourself to land with the eyes closed. Maybe there's something over the eyes, just to keep that little bit of darkness. Allowing the breath to be conscious, but not too deep. So not consciously actively breathing as deep as you can, but consciously breathing. I want you to place your breath right down at the bottom of the tailbone. The base chakra, the Muladhara chakra, the place where you feel safe. This is your safety and your protection. Allowing each breath to very gently, calmly find and welcome safety, feeling nurtured. Knowing that you have what you need. And each exhale, letting go of any fears. Letting go of worries. A red light shines around you. And you are safe. Bringing your attention and your breath to the sacral chakra, the Svadhisthana, a place of creativity. Place of manifesting thoughts and ideas of creativity. Having the fluidity to choose different options, different directions. Each breath knowing that you have the choice to be creative. An orange light shines around you. Moving your awareness and your breath up to your solar plexus, Manipura chakra. Place of manifesting power, willpower. Each breath in, welcoming a sense of I am this. Knowing that you are strong enough to be exactly as you are. To have the willpower to keep walking forwards. A yellow light shines around you. Moving your awareness and your breath up to your heart center, Anahata chakra, place of compassion, place of kindness. Breathing in love. Breathing out love. Knowing that ultimately you are love. Green light shines around you. Bring your breath and your awareness to your throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra. Knowing that you can communicate and you can listen to those that communicate with you. Each breath, welcome in the option to communicate with others, with the planet, with the earth, with the skies. An aquamarine light shines around you. Bring your attention up to your forehead. Third eye, Ajna chakra. Knowing that you have all the wisdom that you need. A deep blue light shines around you. Bringing your attention and your breath to the top of the head. Crown chakra, Sahasrara. are bliss. We are all one. A violet light shines around you. And then allowing your breath to move a little broader. Starting to wiggle through the fingers and the toes, maybe moving the face. Maybe gently stretching out through the arms and hands, through the legs and toes. Drawing the knees gently one at a time in towards the chest and holding onto the front of the shins as you rock side to side. As you're ready, easing yourself onto your right side. Keeping your eyes closed or letting them come to a soft focus as you bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. And as you come upright, palms of the hands come together, thumbs move towards the heart. Just taking a moment to notice. Just acknowledging what you would like to take forwards into the rest of your day. I thank you kindly. Namaste. You're welcome. Gently, gently. Surely it's time to snuggle up in bed now. How's this? What's going on here? There we go. It won't stop. I think it's broke. I don't know what's happening.